At the end of my fifth grade year, we had an end of the year big relay race, and this was a pretty big deal. Now, since there were only four fifth grade boys, that meant I had to run because there were four spots on this relay team. Now, there's both good news and bad news. The good news was we had two of the fastest runners in the school running. Well, the bad news was, I was running and I wasn't that fast. But we put our strongest runners at first and last because they had to run the longest legs. And sure enough, our first guy just blew everyone out of the water. And so he handed the baton to me. Now, in my defense, I actually didn't completely blow it. So, although I lost some of the lead, when I handed the baton off to the third guy, we were still ahead. And things were looking great because we literally had the fastest guy in the school running last. Like, we had this thing in the bag. Until the third guy went to pass the baton to the fourth guy, and it dropped. We just couldn't quite catch up after that. We were defeated not because we were the slowest team, but because we weren't able to work in tandem smoothly enough. And the same principle of dropping batons and not being able to work in tandem is what's going on here in the Church of Corinth in chapter 3, verses 5 through 9. Here's how it reads. What after all is Apollos and what is Paul? Only servants through whom you came to believe. As the Lord has assigned to each his task. I planted the seed, Apollos watered it, but God has been making it grow. So neither the one who plants nor the one who waters is anything, but only God who makes things grow. The one who plants and the one who waters have one purpose, and they will each be rewarded according to their own labor. For we are co-workers in God's service. You are God's field, God's building. See, by asserting their own worldly wisdom over that which is above this wisdom of the Spirit, the church is missing out on appreciating the different legs of the same race that Paul and Apollos are running. And Paul's instructing them that rather than falling into the trap of comparison, that you must begin to see we are all running different legs of the same race. Now, while the way we run, the pace we run with, the distance we run with might look different, we must realize that we're in the same race with the same goal in mind. Paul says the Lord has assigned to each a task. And when we begin to cut into someone's lane and want them to run exactly like us, we're actually resisting the wisdom in the reality that the Lord has assigned to each a task. So why would we degrade a task that the Lord has assigned to us or someone else? Or why would we turn that into a competition? Why would we look down upon a task that has been assigned to us as inferior or a source of comparison? See, it's easy to look at the task the Lord has assigned us and see ourselves as more important or vice versa. But when I ran that relay race in fifth grade, I wasn't expected to run at the same pace or in the same way as the others. And neither did I have to be jealous of my teammates who were faster than I was, right? Because we had the same goal. And I love what Paul says in verse 8. He says, one plants, one waters, but we have one purpose, right? We are running the same race. And so none of us can boast because Paul makes it clear that the only one who makes things grow is God. And so I want to leave you with this question. What task has the Lord assigned to you that you are either comparing yourself to others in or feeling that it is an inferior task?